Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel, and today I'm going to be reviewing The Owl House Season 2 Episode 8 called Knocking on Hooty's Door. And yes, we made it to Episode 8, and I just want to say, for first things first, I just want to say that I can't believe it, within a day, oh my goodness, within a day, Edith's Requiem became my most popular Owl House Season 2 video. Obviously not better than Season 1 because there are episodes where they are past like 300 views. I think I Was a Teenage Abomination, even though that was, at least in my opinion, it was like a bad episode. It's gone like 300 views, and this has gone to 81 the last time I checked. And what was my original my most recent highest Season 2 video was the Owl House Season 2 Episode 4, I believe, Keeping Up Appearances. That was like 74, and this is 81. I mean, not this one, Edith's Requiem. So yeah, so thank you for everyone for checking that video out. Yeah, I really appreciated that. Within a day, like, oh my goodness, it kind of reminds me of the Amphibia Season 1 trailer, where that has like 290 something to 298 views now, and within like a day or so, that has gone up to like, what was it, like 80 views, and that was like my second video ever. So well, not original, I had like DuckTales videos, but that didn't really work out, so but that's in the past. But yeah, I just want to say thank you for that. Keep watching videos, not just that one, other ones too. And I really appreciate all like the fan bases that I have. Even though I don't have commentary, I'm really hoping to get that. I think, what was it, like 1,000 subscribers or something like that, or was it 100,000? It was either one of those two, where I can get that commentary section where I do, where I post something that's not like a video and you guys can leave comments and stuff like that. So hopefully I'll be able to like do that. So get this, hear what my fans are thinking. But if you don't want to do that when that happens, you don't have to either. But yeah, because I have like different fan bases, which I think my most popular is Big City Greens, and my oldest one is Amphibia. Yeah, and I have a pretty good one with Secrets of Sulphur Springs, and I have I have like a decent one for The Ghost of Molly McGee, because that's my most recent one. So yeah, Amphibia is my oldest, The Ghost of Molly McGee is my recent one, and most popular is Big City Greens. While Secrets of Sulphur Springs is a good fan base. Not really popular too much, but it's pretty good. But without further ado, with all my rambling, we are now gonna get into episode 8 of Knocking on Hooty's Door. And first things first, I want to say that this is this is like my first complaint. It's a complaint out of the bag already, where this is a Boss Sing Say type of episode, but this is better than Once Upon a Swap, where they did the switching bodies thing. That was like a failure episode, and one of my only good things to say about that episode was the bongos theme, when Ida was walking in King's body and she had like the sunglasses on. That was only the best parts of that episode, and it only lasted for like a couple seconds to a minute. So, but yeah, this is better. I just kind of, and spoilers, if you haven't watched the episode, go watch it. Don't really have to tell you that. I think because it's all around Hooty, and there's like 3 different storylines. One about Ida, one about King, and one about Luce. And I think Ida's, because she's like, again, like she's my favorite adult character in the show. her thing, and I guess Hooty could have been a part of it also, if you must. And yeah, I guess he could have been in it. I think she should have had like her own episode. I'm not even sure what you would do for like a B plot, but King and Luce's could have been an A plot, B plot storyline, which maybe make Luce's the A plot, make King the B plot. Yeah, like something like that. Yeah, and what would make a B plot storyline for Ida? Maybe you could have done something for Lilith, because I'm surprised. I'm gonna get to that in a minute. Lilith, her voice makes appearance in the episode with like her letter, because remember when she left and never came back, she said, "Oh, we can be pen pals," and who's there? I have a pen, so he's using his face to type in a typewriter, which is funny. So we get to hear her voice, which is nice, but maybe if we took the Ida part of this episode and maybe make Love's a B storyline, maybe we could have seen her at home, so we get to see both sisters. Like, that would have been a pretty cool thing. Maybe is it just me? I think that would have been pretty cool. Or I guess you could just have an A plot of Ida just all together, but there's usually like an A plot, B plot storyline. Even if it's like a small one, there's usually one. So, but anyway, so again, I wish, that's my first complaint. I wish Ida had her own storyline episode, while Luce and King's should have been A plot, B plot storyline. Luce A plot, B plot would have been King. Hooty could have been that episode also. But so basically, what I was talking about earlier, Hooty and Lilith are still pen pals, and and Hooty is, so this is kind of like a flashback sort of, which is kind of interesting. I'm not too big on flashbacks, but if you do right, and this is like a pretty good way of doing a flashback. He's basically typing his face into the typewriter, talking to Lulu. You're talking to Lilith. "Oh, Lilith, I'm going to tell you the story that I'm a genius." "Oh, okay, Hooty." And and in the flashback, Hooty goes to the mailbox and gets Lulu's letter, and we hear her voice, and oh yeah, and she's like, "Oh, Hootstifer, I got your letter, and you really concern me. Oh, you feel important. You feel unimportant, like Luce, King, and Ida go on all sorts of adventures, and you feel helpful. You feel like an outcast, and he's a homo outcast, but okay." And Lilith is like, "Hooty, you are the Owl House. You provide shelter and comfort for all those around you. If anyone can help, like you were the most helpful. Like you as you." And Hooty gets a little tear and say, "Aw." And then Hooty's like, "You know what? Lilith's right. I am helpful, so I'm gonna prove myself." It's kind of like a little prove yourself situation, at least to me. It seems like it. So, Hooty's gonna end this part. It seems kind of like they're in separate rooms. It's like there's barriers around them. It's really weird. And sometimes they kind of address the other people around them, but it's more like, be quiet. Like, it's me time. Like, even like Luce. So I was like, oh, okay. So we get the storylines, and they're pretty good. Ida's interesting, but the other ones, they're pretty good. Where, Hooty's basically talking like it's a flashback saying, "Oh, King is going through demon puberty, and he wants to figure out who he is." And King's voice is cracking, which is really funny. And he's like, "Oh," and then Hooty's like, "Oh, a little demon's becoming a deep man." So, okay. And King's voice is still cracking, and he runs off. But again, like, he's not really addressing, because against the next thing Hooty says, Ida's getting freaked out, and she's really stressed out because after what happened in the previous episode, she's trying to figure out what Emperor Bellis is planning so she can basically stop what's happening. So King's not worried about that at all. So like, because again, King just runs off. So okay, King. So again, my second complaint is just that people are just not addressing the other people around them. So yeah, and he's like, I'm flipping out Hooty. Emperor Bellis is playing something. I don't know what. I gotta stop them. I gotta stop him because it's the right thing to do. And then I'm gonna stay up. No sleep, no rest. And Hooty's like, "Wait, Ida, you have to rest, because if you don't, the owl beast comes out, and that's bad." And then And he's like, don't worry, Hooty, I got it under control. So leave me alone. I got it. And, you know, and Hooty's like, ugh. And Hooty's like, and this is where Lucy's like, everyone be quiet. You're scaring the Echo Mouse. I'm sorry, Lucy. If the Echo Mouse can handle being eaten by Hooty and somehow being owl pellet out of him, I believe that's what happened. The Echo Mouse can handle anything. So, Lucy, I'm sorry. You're telling everyone to be quiet. You be quiet, okay? I'm sorry. I don't mean to sound like a drama queen, whatever. But what's the term? I'm diva. But and you know, Lucy's like, you know, and the Echo Mouse is not, you know, talking because everyone's freaking him out. He's not telling me how to get home, so I want him to help me ask out Amity. And then she's like, don't forget what I said, and then she just runs off. And it's like, oh, okay, so more about, you know, the Luce and Amity romantic storyline. Okay, of course, Ida and King's are obviously Ida's is a more interesting storyline, but King's also is a little bit more interesting than Luce's. But Luce's basically is part of her character, sort of. You know, everyone has different phases and different levels to their character, and one of the levels is her relationship with Amity. So, you know, we're gonna address that part. Okay. Yeah, because we didn't address this ever. We got like a little like line from Willow and Luce from episode 6, but it was like a big part in episode 5, so we're addressing it here. Okay. And then, you know, Hooty's like, I got a plan of all plans, like, you know, to help them all out. And Hooty's has like a devious look face. Okay, Hooty, calm down. But we first things first is King, and this is where we get to right here. Hooty basically, sorry, sorry. Hooty basically slithers in, and King's basically like, if I look through these books and figure out what type of demon I am, I'll figure out what's going on. And Hooty's basically saying like, our little demon has questions about where he's coming from. You know, I want to help him out because as a demon myself. And oh, hold on. Where is it? Can I not find it? Am I really? Oh, this look, it's this here. And King's like, hey, what's going on? Oh my goodness. I'm sorry, I just had to play this right here because this is just really funny and really creepy. What are the answers, Hooty? Hooty's is very creepy and oh my goodness. Demon Puberty 101.5. Hey, light it. Sorry, what was it called? 101.5 Light FM. It's the radio station, whatever. And I kind of like these drawings. There's like a little bug right here. It's like a monster. Hey, look, a slither beast. That's like the Oregon. Is that a cat? Yeah, it probably is. And hey, look, there's the Titan of the Boiling Isles. Is that a human skeleton? But that doesn't really look human. This looks like a human skull. And Demon Puberty 101.5. You let FM. So, and we haven't seen this room before, but a little spoiler, this is the tower. And I'm not sure if I ever said this this has been a while since I looked back on it of what I want to see in my season 2 video. If I haven't said it, I was like, there's like that tower in the owl house. It's like, we never really explored it. This is the tower. Oh, okay. And, you know, and then, you know, and Demon's, King's like, the last thing I want is a health class from you, Hooty. This isn't a health class, King. I want to help you. Find out what type of demon you are. You want to know, right? And King's like, yeah, I do want to know. Okay, what do I want to lose? And I kind of like this continuity. Remember in episode 4 when King wore this hat, like his horn kind of punctured the hat, so now there's like a little bandit on it. I'm not sure if that would work or not, but it's a continuity. So, oh, that's pretty nice. Yes, I didn't know this is not human. You see the horns and stuff. This is like reptilian or whatever. So, okay. And then, Hooty's basically explained that there's 3 different types of demons. There is, we gotta figure out what you are. Can I not get the thing? Sorry, this is taking a little long. Can I not get to the thing? But I guess I can't really get it. You're either bug, biped, and beast. So I was like, well, biped is like a really big type of variety of different creatures. So, but that's what we decided to do one with. Not my personal choice, but it's what they decided with. Biped. And then he was like, we're gonna test for bug. Because even though you don't look like a bug, we can't really rule anything out. So as my bug worm myself, King's like, ugh, we're gonna figure it out. And then he's like, we're gonna test by dance. And then the bugs are dancing. It's really beautiful. And then here's like a flutter bug routine for you. And I guess it's this giant thing and there's other bugs inside of him. Huh. And look, a hybrid. Oh, hey, there's a thing that Ida ate. And oh, there's the that thing that was in Ida's room, that bear trap thing. And there's that thing in the first episode of season 1. So a little callbacks to different stuff like that. And look, King's wearing like a K-pop, well, not K-pop, like a disco type of, not disco, what would you call it? But that the 80s workout type of wear. So okay, I was just trying to figure out what I'm remembering from. Kind of like, yeah. But anyway, sorry, different episode. But King's basically trying to do a dance, and King's not really getting it. He's kind of like, oh, am I doing it right? And then King tries to do something, and Hooty's basically like even like the little fairy's like, oh my goodness, why did you say that? How can I not get to the thing? This is really frustrating. No, not. Oh, there we go. And he was like, how dare you talk about my mother like that? I'm kind of thinking, is that Ida? This actually got me thinking when I first watched the episode. Is Ida Hooty's mother, or did another owl make Hooty? Did Ida find Hooty? Did Ida make the owl house? Because we know this is not their home growing up. We have to see Ida, like in her actual home and keeping up appearances. So she had a house before this house. So I'm kind of thinking, where did she find Hooty? Was Hooty right in the house? Did Ida put Hooty inside the house? Did she make Hooty? So this actually kind of got me thinking. So that's pretty cool. No. Can I go any more forward with that? Trying to see if I can. Can I really not? No. Okay, sorry. I'm just gonna go back to where I was before. No. Can I really not go back to the place I was before? This is really getting irritating. Okay, I'm just gonna leave it right there for now. So sorry about that. What you saw is from the next episode. Sorry about that, but I guess it's good to see Ida and like a little glimpse of Amity. So sorry, that was meant for another video, but anyway, accidents happen. But because we basically see like a little bit of Hooty chasing King, and basically and this isn't the end of for like showing clips and stuff like that. There's a little bit more, but for right now, this is it. But and then Hooty's like, basically your dance was insulting, so you're not Bug. And and King's like, okay. And time to test for biped. So I brought my little friend Tiny Nose over here. So we get to have Tiny Nose again. She's playing like a little video game. Why is there a video game here? Who knows? Who cares? And then she's like, we need to test because bipeds basically have magic. They're basically hybrids of demons and witches. So basically like, what would you say? Basha and that girl with like the tongue. Like, she has like a mouth on her head. It's kind of like her hair. Like, she would be like a biped. So we need to see if you're like a biped, King. Let's see if you have some magic. So we don't really see him do any magic. So like, let's have a duel. And King's like, oh yeah, let's do a little scrapping. Obviously, Tiny Nose just obliterates him like, poof. And we actually get to see like, the outside tower. I was like, oh, you're wearing the tower. Oh, that's pretty cool. And then so he's like, okay, you're not a biped, but we didn't see King do any magic. Like, that's just kind of ridiculous. Like, what was the point of her blowing him up if he's not going to try and do any magic? He even tried to do a spell circle or anything. That was kind of dumb. Like, that didn't test if he was biped. That just tells us if he's, like, the best fighter in the world. We weren't testing for that. Whatever. We said, okay, this time, let's go to, Beast. And King said, okay, you're the professional, I guess. I don't have anyone else. And then we have Tiny Nose with a mask on with like a gigantic needle. It's very cartoon sized. And she's like, I went to medical school. I guess she went to the healing coven because that would be their term of medical school. And then we are boop. And he's like, wah. And then and Hooty's like, oh, you ready to find out who you are, King? Are you ready? King's like, I'm ready. Whatever it is. Bug, biped, beast, I want to know who I am. Please. What is it? And then I'm with King. Oh my goodness. Who's like, you are you. Sorry. And then you are you. And then your Tiny Nose is like, hooray. And King's like, what? And then he's like, the test was inconclusive. We don't know actually what you are, but that doesn't stop us from being your friend, which is nice by Hooty. That wasn't the point of this. And like King's like, Hooty, I did not ask you to do this. I didn't think you were suggesting this for you to teach me how to love myself. I do love myself. I understand like my own feelings and stuff like that. That wasn't my questions. I have other questions. Is there any part of myself that I don't know about? Where's my heritage come from? Where is my father? Do I have a mother? All those questions, Hooty, that's what matters. And Hooty's like, and the King's basically, and that Tiny Nose and Hooty kind of looking at each other like, did we kind of screw up? And and King's like, Hooty, I haven't really told, like, he doesn't really say this, but it's like in context, like what his face is kind of telling, and he's like, Hooty, I didn't really tell Ida and Luce this, but my dad hasn't, responded to my video yet. That, in Edith's Requiem, he did that video thing. No message to my wanted posters. Maybe my dad's dead. Maybe my dad is gone. Maybe he doesn't want to find me. He's getting really upset. And Hooty's like, he's freaking out. It's like, King, I didn't mean to make you upset. And King's like, Hooty, I am upset. I'm upset at him. He left me. He left me alone. Like, I was a little baby. I wasn't even hatched yet. And he's just gone. And King's crying. And Tiny Nose and Hooty's getting a little sad too. And this is a little bit interesting. King's like, he left me alone. And poof, like a sonic thing. Like a sonic screech or something. Like sonic wave. And they kind of blew up the cake. It's like a cake of King. And then King's like really angry, and he's like, what? Like what was that? And then Hooty's like, I guess I messed things up for you. And then Tiny Nose is like, at least the cake was good. And Hooty's like, it was meant to be a crumble. And then King's like, Hooty, wait. But Hooty's like already gone. And so that's it, like, for like the, we kind of get back to it a little bit, but that was like the end for the main point of the King storyline of the episode. So, I didn't really imagine sonic and vocal powers for King, but I don't really hate it either. Just kind of, interesting. Maybe you have like echolocation or something like that. Maybe like if it's in a dark cave and like Ida's like lost or something like that. Maybe you use the echolocation to find her or something. Who knows? So that's kind of interesting. We get the interesting storyline with Ida, and they basically Ida said, "Oh, Hooty, I'm fine, leave me alone." And Ida's kind of like, "Okay, I had to stay up. I had to stop Bellows. I can do it. I'm Ida Clawthorne. No one's gonna stop me." You kind of hype yourself up, and then Hooty. Those cookies look really good, but I wouldn't have any. Oh my goodness. And then he left a little letter. He's like, "Oh, to help you stay awake and energized, I left you some cookies. I baked you some cookies." And he's like, "Oh, Hooty, you're a softy." And then she eats some. Oh, dang, Owlboy can bake. And she sees some sparkly stuff, and then we see some Z's, and she's like, "Oh, sleeping nettles." And remember, we introduced the sleeping nettles in episode 6 of creating that new spell, the sleeping mist, to knock out Kikimora in episode, what was it called, Hunting Palisman, to like stop her from taking all those Palisman to Belos. So we get the sleeping nettles again. So okay, and then you say, "Oh, sleeping nettles," and Hooty comes out of the floor. "Yep, you well, when does that? Well, you'll be out for hours." And then he's like, "Hooty, sleeping nettles don't just put you to sleep; they enhance your dreams." And then and she's like, "Don't you know who you're gonna trap me with?" And then she's like, "Hooty, please don't let me fall asleep." And then you see Hooty's kind of like a tube, falls on top of like the floor. You gotta see the inside like an actual tube, which is funny. And he's like, "Yep, one does that. Well, you'll be out for hours. And Hooty basically disappears. And Ida basically hears like a growl. And from the trailer, we see like a huge owl beast. That was from this episode. And then she's like, "You know what? This is an opportunity. The owl beast is the reason why I ran away from home. The owl beast is the reason why I don't have magic. The owl beast is the reason why I never got close to anyone." And she's like, and she sees the owl beast, and she's like, "You haunted me enough, bird brain. I'm gonna haunt you." But the owl beast is 2 steps ahead. She's back to her younger form when she was younger, and she looks in the mirror and like, "Oh, this is an interesting development." She can look in her face. "Yeah, I'm younger." And she's back in her old room, and she sees her mom and her sister, and then she's like, "Oh, Edelyn, come down for dinner." And Lily's like, "Oh, mother, do you like my napkin folding?" and then Gwendolyn's like, "Oh, that's nice, dear. Like, you're kind of not paying too much attention to it." I feel bad for Lilith, but you kind of be like, "I'm sorry, kid." And especially since you're living with your mom now, I think it'll be better for you. And then when Ida was walking downstairs, I saw like a male in like the one of the picture frames. So like, is that Ida's dad or maybe grandfather, uncle, brother, something like that? This is interesting. And then she's like, "I don't have time for nonsense, dream mom. I'm on a mission. I'm on a mission." And then Gwen's kind of like, did Ida actually say that, or is she adding that to the memory? Who knows? We weren't really explained to it. And then we get like a new thing or like a location or something like that. And Gwen is basically saying, "Oh, Edelyn, you're saying that when your dad's about to leave for the mandible." What's the mandible? Where is it? How long is the trip? Who knows? And then and then she's like, "Dad." And remember in episode 4 when Lo said, "I'm gonna try to reconnect with Dad," Ida kind of had that type of look, kind of looking down. She probably left in bad terms with Dad. We find out why. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. And yeah, but she's like around like 17 around this time. 16, 17 around the time, or 17, 18. It's really hard to tell because like it's definitely not 14, 15, because why didn't Amity do the whole join the Coven initiation battle thing yet? So I don't know, maybe it might happen later this season. Who knows? But I think she might be 17 or 18. But and Ida's like, "Dad?" And then we get to see him, and his name is Dell. So okay, he looks pretty cool. Dell Clawthorne, and you're basically And he's a good looking dude, and I like his voice. And he's like, oh, hey pumpkin, have you seen are you gonna see me go off? And Ida immediately hugs them, and I really like that. She loves her dad. She's like, Dad, it's so good to see you. And it's been such a long time. And then Dell's like, what are you talking about, sweetheart? I was only gone for an hour, but even though I'm like you're gonna be gone for a while, he never really explained how long the trip is. Has been years. Like we don't know what the mandible is. We only heard about it today in this episode, so who knows how long the trip was? It could have been years, but who knows? And since I've been going away for a while, and then he's like, oh no, I remember this part. I'm gonna be going away in Sal, and he unleashes some sort of firework, and I'm kind of like, I'll explain a little bit. He unleashes it, poof, some purple and like orange fireworks appear, and she turns it, and her eyes start going big, and poof, turns into Albies and attacks her father. And I was like, oh my goodness! And Del tries to fight her off, and poof, scratches her eye out, but another version of Edelyn comes in, grabs the owl beast version of her, shoves it in the closet, and then she goes back and does like another version of her, and that's the one who transformed. It's weird, but dreams are weird. And then we see Del like bleeding, and then basically Del and she's like, oh no, Del, are you okay? Lilith, go call the healing coven. So when Gwen was talking to the healing coven that day, that was the day that Del got scratched, because this is the day that Gwen and Lilith, well, not Lilith, you know what happens. This is the day that Gwen found out about the curse. So when the healing coven said maybe you should keep it at bay, and here's a little gem to see when it's gonna bubble up. This is the same day that her dad got attacked. Oh my goodness, what an eventful day. Very painful, eventful day. And then, I'm not sure who she's talking to. Maybe her younger self or Del. It's either one, maybe both. She's like, it wasn't your fault. It was yours. And she's about to punch the Albies, and Rain's there. Oh, hey, we get to see Rain again, because after what happened last episode. Oh my goodness. But she's like, and then Rain's like, Ida, what are you doing? And then he's like, oh, Rain, I'm so sorry. I'm nothing. Everything's fine. And they were dating. So it was a matter of speculation. It's like 50-50. They were dating, but spoilers, Rain broke it off. And they had every right to him. They had every right. Because they're like, Rain's like, Ida, you're lying again. You're distant. You're not talking to me. You're not talking to me about the curse. It's like I don't even know you. And the older version of Ida's kind of like, I know how this goes. Like, you hear me, bird brain? I'm ready for it this time. And Rain's like, I decided to. Ida's like, why do I always hate this part? Rain's like, I think we should see other people. I'm going to join the Bard Coven. You're going to go on your wild ways, keeping your secrets. And young Ida's like, kind of like, breathing really heavily. Her eyes go dark, and her like nails turn to claws and stuff. She's kind of panicking a little bit. And Rain's like, being the helpful person that they are. They're like, Ida, is this the curse? And then older Ida's like, Ida, let them help you. Let them help. And then Rain's like, oh, everything's fine. Everything's normal. You can leave now. And they're like, I can't do this anymore. And they disappear. And then he's like, you stop pushing them away. And then that younger version of stuff turns back into owl beast, and they're kind of attacking. And the gray kind of turns into orangish gray. That's kind of interesting. And she's like, it was all your fault. And this is kind of interesting. We always saw things from Ida's perspective. This time we get to see from the owl beast's perspective. This is interesting. But it was all your fault. And boom, knocks her head into the owl beast. So now she's like in the owl beast's mind. That's really interesting. Which makes sense because they're both kind of sharing like the same body. So it's kind of interesting. Sorry. And then Ida's kind of really confused. But she can't really talk because she's kind of growling a little bit. But she's seeing like a dinosaur skeleton. I'm like, dinosaurs in the boiling owls? What the heck? But it kind of looks like a giant skeleton. And she gets captured in this net with these kind of same sparklers. Because I forgot to mention this when I was talking about Del. When he kind of did the whole firework thing, because I'm kind of like thinking, That's kind of weird way to trigger the Albies. I know they kind of like light, but that's kind of interesting. That's kind of weird and interesting. This person who in the credits I believe is to be named the Collector. It's not 100% confirmed, but that's what people have been saying who watched the episode, saying, "Oh, this is new person that's called the Collector." So that's who we are assuming who this person is. Again, not 100% confirmed, but I guess she is kind of collecting the Albies in a way. So I guess she would be like the Collector. I'm assuming it's a she because it's kind of like a female voice, but we don't know. But basically, we see the same fireworks sparklers. Okay, the Albies hates it because of the, well, I'm assuming it's a Collector. And then she's like, "Oh, you think you can run away from me, Beast?" And she's kind of laughing. Oh, jeez. And the Albies tries to run away, and its wings burn from the sun, and it falls into the water, turns into the Owl Curse. Washes upon the shore. This trash dude picks it up, looks at the Albie symbol. He's like, puts it in, and I guess that's how it ended up in the night market where Love found it and put the curse on Ida. Where Love thought it was for a day. Oh my goodness. And and we get to see it's back in black and white, and except for the color red, because red strings attach us, and Albie's basically trying to run away from Ida. Because we get to see, I guess, this is before the album, even though we saw Ida's face. That's only because Ida's connected to it now, but this is before Ida. Because, I'm sorry, Ida is in her mid to late 40s. She was out around the time of dinosaurs. I'm sorry. No. Even though people say, "Oh, she's old." She's not old as dinosaurs. I'm sorry, guys. She's not. So, basically, she kind of has this new revelation, like, "Oh, Albies, you had your own life. You were hunted by this person that I don't even know about, and you don't want to be stuck as me as much as I don't want to be stuck with you." So Ida kind of has that new information. She's kind of looking at the red string. You just want to get away. So she kind of feels bad, and Albie's kind of all tuckered out, and she's like, "Hey, it's okay." She tries to pet it, but it's kind of screaming because, like, obviously it doesn't like her. It doesn't like her, and then she's like, "Oh, come on, let me pet you." And then she sees like the big elixirs. She's like a bunch of them. No, sorry, the water turns orange, and then the elixir pops out, and she's like, "Hey, listen to me. I don't like you. You don't like me, but we're stuck together. I used this elixir to fight against you because I didn't like you, because you ruined my life. But I see now that you have your own issues too. So how about this?" She pours some in her hand. It kind of reflects the Albie's reflection, and she's like, "How about truce for now?" And Albie's kind of nods a little bit and licks her hand, and she's like, "Oh, now it tastes like sandpaper," which is funny. And the Albie's kind of snuggles with Ida. Oh, and then we see like a rainbow like appear in the sky, and he's like, "I never had a dream this beautiful." And they kind of snuggle against each other. The light lifts them up, and then we get back into normal time. We get back to awake, in the real world. And she's like, "Oh, my head," and her voice is kind of modified. Oh, did it turn again? She's like a harpy woman. Oh my goodness. And she looks beautiful. And she's like, "What? Whoa!" And who's like, "I made it worse. I made it worse." And he just goes off crying. And Edith's like, "Wait, Hooty kind of helped." And she's kind of looking in the mirror. "Oh, dang, girl! Like, this is a good look for you. This is a hot look." I agree. And I'm just gonna hold on. Oh, hold on. I'm sorry. I've been on this for a while. Hold on. Just in case, so we get like a new um so we can like get something new. Hold on. Sorry, that kind of gave me a heart attack out of nowhere. I'm kind of wondering, should I cut it? I'm gonna keep it for now because I don't know what. I don't really know what time it is, so I'm just gonna keep it for now. But if I get a copyright strike, I maybe need to cut it out somehow. But for now, I'm just gonna keep it. So sorry that the whole king talking, that was an accident. I'm sorry, but um, let me go back to. Hold on. So I'm just gonna leave it right here, like for now. But sorry, the whole king thing. It was a little spoiler for this episode, but sorry about that. But before we get to like, the Lucid Amity, yeah, Amity showed up this episode, and basically we get to we ended Eda story 9. Basically, she comes back, but it basically ended, and we basically have Lucid saying like, I have to go, and she kind of basically sits the Echo Mouse down, and she's kind of like, little Echo Mouse buddy, like, I mean, if you're not gonna tell me anything about getting home or about Philip Wittebane, can you this is kind of, can you teach me how to ask out a cotton candy haired goddess? And I'm kind of like, Liz, I don't really like the term goddess because you're putting a lot of expectation on her. She already has like enough to deal with it being like, about her expectations from her parents and about her business and stuff like that. Now you can put the term goddess. Not good, but that's just me. I don't know. I just think you're putting way too much pressure on her. Oh my goodness, the things that in history goddesses have to do. But okay, and basically, then Hooty basically talks like, Lucy was torn. Her heart was torn between finding a way home and asking the girl of her dreams. So I'm gonna help her. Okay, Hooty. And you're still talking flashback. And she's like, she gives like a little note of a rhyme, and then she's kind of like, oh, you find what we were looking for in the ground. She's like, ugh. Oh, I mean the basement. She's like, Hooty, I don't have time for this. We have a basement? I didn't know we had a basement either. In the house. She goes into the basement. So we get to have new locations. We get the tower and the basement. Okay. And she goes in the basement, and she's kind of like, sees like a lamp. And she's like, Amity, because of the new haircut. She's like, oh, well, why would Amity be here? I guess Hooty outpilled her. That would have been so freaky. Did she get her from her house or the library or school? I don't know. I guess it's like nighttime, so I guess it wouldn't be I guess it wouldn't be school time. But basically, she's like, oh my goodness, Amity, I'm so sorry. And she's like, Luce, what's going on? I think Hooty brought me here. What's going on? She's like, oh, Hooty, Hooty's been acting weird all day. She's kind of blushing a little bit because she likes her. And she's like, and the Amity's kind of, oh, owl beasts, I'm saying now, house demons can act like that every 1,000 years. Does Amity have a house demon? Do other houses have a house demon? Do the Clawthorns have a house demon? Does Gus have a house demon? I don't know. But Amity says there's multiple versions of them, so that's interesting. But basically, they're kind of falling on top of each other. They kind of collapse into each other, and then poof, they fall into like a hole. And Hooty's like, Hoot, and it goes into this a bunch of pillows with hearts. And Lucy gets a fire goes and poof, blows one up. And Amity's like, oh, okay. And she's like, oh, when you wanted to look what you're looking for, you had to find into the tunnel of the tunnel of love. And it's the most cheesiest thing ever. Oh my goodness. And Amy's like, Luce, what's going on? And I forgot to mention that also she said that everyone back home said that was cheesy. So that's why she kind of hates this. So she's like, I want to, because I think Amy's cool, classy, and confident. So I want her to think of me like that. Because everyone at home, when I did my my confessions to them, everyone thought it was cheesy. So I don't want Amity to think like that of me. So okay. But who just went all over the top cheesy with all the cheese. And who's like, Swambo? Oh my goodness. And he's like, and then there's a bunch of romantic stuff happening. And then Amity's kind of seems sad. She's like, kind of like, oh, like, aw. Well, she kind of feels the same. She's kind of doing her hair, kind of to look nice. It's kind of sweet. Obviously, kind of we're like, ooh, it's kind of interesting with Ida. This is kind of like, okay, sweet. And and Lucy's like, oh, I can be made fun of again. I'm kind of thinking, like, oh, geez, was it really that bad? I'm kind of think I don't want to really see a flashback, but I'm kind of interested in it. Was it really that bad? Does your mom know about it? Does anyone else know about it? Was it public? I'm asking way too many questions about that. But I don't know. But Lucy kind of said twice, like, "Oh, everyone thought it was cheesy. I'm gonna be made fun of again." So, and basically, and you basically, and it's like, oh, did you say something? And then what was it? It's like a message that said "Be mine," and Lucy's like, don't worry about it. It was an invasive species. And Aaron's like, okay. And she's like, and all these arrows with cute notes are written on them. And she's like, Amity, I'm sorry, this wasn't supposed to happen. Amity kind of gets sad, and she's basically destroying everything with ice glyphs, vine glyphs, plant glyphs, fire glyphs, and Amity's kind of like, you're destroying it. And then Lucy's like, oh, this was a disaster. And Amity's like, yeah, it kind of was. And I'll get out of your hair. And it looks like, wait, Amity, you don't have to go. This was Hooty's stupid idea. And Amity's like, yeah, this was stupid. You and me dating? Yeah, that's stupid, right? And it's like, no. Oh, God. And, and Hooty's like, no, I did it again. And she's like, that's it. I'm getting out of this house. And I'm a king. Hooty, you ding dong. Stop destroying the house. You're overreacting. Yeah, Hooty, come on. And she's like, I'm gonna get out of this the hard way. Then you see the guts again, like from episode 3, from Echoes of the Past, and then and Ida's trying to figure out what's going on, and King falls off the tower, and Ida catches her. Her King's not her. Catches him, and it's like, Luce, what's going on? To get out of the basement. Well, Luce, what's going on? I don't know, but things get really weird when Hooty gets upset. And oh, this is kind of interesting. We kind of see like a new necklace of Amity. Wonder if we can get a better shot of it. And this boulder's about to like fall on top of. Oh, I forgot to also say that Ida. King's like, Ida, is that you? And she's like, yeah, but it's a long story. Kind of figured things out. And King's like, oh, cool. And then this is basically Ida's harpy form. You don't see it too much, but this is basically kind of what it looks like. And King's like, Luce. This is the accidental clip I kind of did. King's like, oh, Luce, Amity, watch out. And she's kind of like, Ida, let go. And he's like, this is Sonic. Oh, dude, we get the better look of Harpy Ida. So that's pretty cool. And King's like, no. And they kind of did like a Sonic Echo thing. And then we see a... Oh, do we get to see... Oh. You know something? This moon... It looks like what people are calling her the Collector. That moon looks like what was on her face. Could the Collector be a blight? Like a descendant of the Blights? Maybe. Did Amity get that necklace? Did she buy that necklace? Was that gift from her mother, brother, sister, father? Who knows? And they're kind of looking at the sparklies because of the geodes and stuff like that, and your Luce kind of looks at Amity. And they kind of look at each other. Oh, this is better looking than the necklace. And then, and Ida's kind of like, did you do that, King? And King's like, yeah, I think I got power. And and Luce and Amity are fine, and And then, and Harpy eat up with King. And she's like, are you two okay? With, like, the modified voice. And I like both of her reactions. And Lucy's like, not as good as you. Dang, girl. Like, I got some questions. And Emity's kind of like what the heck? Like, what the heck is going on? You see Emity's face like, oh my goodness. And Lucy, I got some questions for later. And Hooty basically comes out and she's like, I failed you all. Overreacting. Oh my goodness. And this is like the tower I was talking about. This is actually a pretty cool angle. And Edith's kind of like Harpy. He's like, no, Hooty, you kind of helped me in a weird way. I'm like a Harpy woman now. And we actually get to see like her, like kind of like a better view of her with like her eyes and stuff like that. So that's pretty cool. And she has like wings and stuff like that. And King's like, I can explode stuff with my voice powers. And he's like, I still failed loose. And oh my goodness, putting the spotlight on her. Oh my goodness. And he's like, Loose, what was Hooty trying to do? And King's like, just pretend that he helped you so he would stop crying. I'm kind of like how Amy's kind of looking like, oh my goodness, what Hooty were you doing? And Lucy's kind of look at me, oh my goodness. And Lucy's kind of sweating, and and I kind of like this is kind of like a mother daughter or aunt niece kind of moment, when you want some advice. So this is kind of pretty sweet. And Lucy's like, come here. And and she's like, Hooty was trying to help me ask out Amity. And he's like, whoa, like, do you want to? Which I think is a good message, like, never let other people force what you don't want to do. Which is pretty nice. And Luce kind of, like, nods. And Luce kind of nods, like, mm-hmm. And Edith's kind of like, then just do it. Like, she even says, like, it won't be perfect, but does it really have to be? Which I think is really sweet. And even looks like this with Hooty and stuff like this. Oh my goodness. And oh my, Hooty, you're too much. This isn't even fun. It's really, oh my goodness. And he's like, yeah, don't worry, I'll take care of it. And again, Edith said, like, it won't be perfect, but it doesn't have to be. Kind of like how Edith's really, like, really taller than Liz. I think she was always taller, but this is kind of like she's like really taller. And she's like, good luck, kid. And And you just kind of like, come on, Hooty, let's go. And she just grabs her crying Hooty. And this is, you kind of picks up the courage, and she's like, Amity. and then poof, because Hooty just wants to set up the mood. Hooty, stop. Don't need to set up the mood. And then Lucy's basically like, Amity, I am so sorry. Like, I'm trying to like help her, and this is like from the trailer of where it's supposed to hold hands. It was kind of like, it was like, what is this thing in the background? Is this wallpaper? So this is from this. So okay. And it's kind of like, I'm fine, Luce. I'm fine. Don't worry. And then basically Luce is like, Amity, I've been trying to ask you something, for not like a long time. That'd be Amity, but for like a while now. And and who I've been trying to do it in the best way and in the town of love. I thought, Amity is too cool for this. And Amity's like, I'm not as cool as you think. And they kind of like, you don't have to be like, sophisticated for me. And I kind of really like this because you never really know what's in your future. But I'm gonna comment something after this because kind of like this is just a situation of where you live, Luce.
It is so crazy right now, and I have no idea what my future holds. But it would be so cool if you were in it. So, do you want to go out with me?
Sorry, I don't want to play too much of a clip, but basically, Lucy's saying, I don't know what my future holds, but it would be so cool if you were in it. So, and then I was like, do you want to go out with me? And Lucy's like, no, I was so ready. And, and then she's like, I'll say it. I'll let you say it. And Lucy's like, do you want to go out with me? And Anne's like, yes. And then they kind of hold hands, and Anne's like, what? And Lucy's like, why is this so scary? And Anne's like, I don't know, but that's how, first, couples work. Things are scary. But I'm kind of thinking, I love that speech because, yeah, you don't know what your future holds, but I'm kind of thinking, what about your mom, Luce? What about the human realm? Like, it would be kind of wrong for Amity to leave her. Like, her parents are basically kind of bad, but what about her older brother and sister? You kind of want to visit them too, right? And also your mom doesn't really know you've been here. How's she going to take it that you kind of, they're not even like about to hold destroying the door. Obviously, you did it to save Ida. Like, to save a life. That's understandable. But you chose to go here instead of summer camp. You weren't honest with your mom. How's she going to take that? So I'm kind of thinking with that line, it is kind of, interesting that Lucy brought this up because she never really said that before. But it's also, what about your mom, Luce? Any other family members? Probably. She never really mentioned it, so probably not. But also that doppelganger Luce, she doesn't even know about that. At least I don't think she knows about it. Oh yeah, because Luce said, oh, she's probably worried about me. So she doesn't even know about doppelganger Luce. So, well, what's the name I gave her? Obscura. Obscura, that's what I called her. So I'm kind of thinking, what's the situation that's going to be? And they did like a nice hard thing. So I'll just leave it right here. And basically, it's around the end of the day. Amity went. Oh, it's not. Amity's still here. He's like, oh, King still doesn't know where he came from or what type of demon he is, but he's still trying to figure himself out day after day. And King's kind of destroying stuff with his voice powers, but this is Ida's stuff, so obviously Ida is stopping him. Excuse me. And who's like, basically saying, oh, Ida can turn into Harpy Ida now, but she still takes her elixir, but she's now kind of accepting the curse is kind of like a part of her, and and it's good for her. And I didn't really like this where, who's like, Lucy and GF Amity, so okay, they're girlfriends now. Okay, nice. Basically told her tips of how to get the Echo Mouse to work. So we actually get to see some different things. We got to see Philip. We get to see some different places. We got to see like a spider palisman or something. That's cool. But they kind of, I know we kind of had to rush through season 2 because season 3's been shortened. This might have been when things have been cut, probably. But I'm kind of thinking, they kind of glossed over how to work the mouse because I'm kind of thinking, the mouse probably ate tons of books. So Amity sort of figured it out. How did she do that? Because she worked at the library, so she probably knows how to do it. But we don't know how to do it. So I guess it's not a problem. So I don't know. And basically, and Hooty's like, oh, they deserve all the happiness, and they should. But I'm kind of thinking, a situation with your mom lives, and also this. It's kind of like ending a heartbreak. Probably are they gonna break up? Oh my goodness, they just got together. I'm thinking they're gonna break up, but who knows? And basically, Hooty's like, I had to promise everyone I won't help them ever again. Good, Hooty. Oh my goodness. And she's like, nonetheless, I'm a genius. And she basically puts like the letter in the mailbox to Lulu, to Lilith. He's like, okay, bye, no more mysteries. But we get to see, I don't think he's King's dad anymore because like, he has a cool voice and he's like, excuse me, young sir. Like, oh, do you know King Clawthorn? What? No, sorry. He didn't say it. He said, give this letter to King Clawthorn. It's very important. And then he walks away. How far is the house? If you're his dad, why didn't you go to the house? So I'm assuming he's like a servant or something because, and if there's only one thing I would let slide if this was his dad. If he's like, yeah, this is the king, like he's my son, I'm his father, but I have to go. Give this letter to him. It's very important. But I have to go. It's very urgent. So he runs off. That would be the kind of more, or flies off because he has wings. That would be more understandable. But he just walks off. Why did you go inside the house? So I'm assuming that's not his dad. Please don't make him his dad because why didn't you just go into the house? Why? And then he's like, and there's like a bug just goes in the letter, and he just gobbles up. Oh, sorry. Hope that was junk mail. And I was like, are you kidding me? Overall, this is a good episode. 75%. There's some things that kind of willing to let go, but there's like kind of most things that kind of irritated me. But again, good episode. 75% C+. Not like Ida's Requiem. Fantastic episode. 95% A+. Fantastic. It was good. It was just good. It wasn't perfect, fantastic, or great. It was good. 75%. C+. And this is the first time that they weren't the same letter grade, like of sequence of episodes, like episode 1 and 2. They were both great. 3 and 4, they were both fantastic. 5 and 6, they were both good. Now episode 7 was fantastic. Episode 8 was just good. So that's kind of different change of pace, but it could happen. But everyone, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, hit the notification bell, give me a big thumbs up, leave a comment down below. Don't forget to share the video, and I'll see you guys tomorrow for, I'm thinking, The Ghost in Malamiki, season 1, episode 13. So Friday can be episode 14. Yeah. Even though I said like I would get Big City Greens done, but the clips are available and the episodes already premiered. I think I should get that stuff done, but who knows. But I'll see you guys tomorrow for like whichever show I choose. But again, I might be on a little break for the Owl House until I get episode 9 and 10 done. But everyone, I really hope you enjoyed this review, and I'll see you guys then. See you guys next time. All right, bye.